Welcome back, everyone. We have been discussing about the theoretical aspects with regard to issue of shares. So now let us discuss about the practical aspect with regard to issue of shares of a company. We have learned that the company can raise capital by issue of shares. The shares may be issued either for cash or for consideration other than cash, and we have discussed about the concept of issue of shares for cash as well as issue of shares for consideration other than cash. So a company may enter into an arrangement with vendors. Vendors means sellers, suppliers, like that, from whom the company has purchased assets. So specifically, these issue of shares for consideration other than cash occurs in case of transaction relating to assets, purchase of assets, like that. So to make the payments in the form of fully paid shares in the company. So instead of paying the purchase price in cash, the company might pay in the form of shares. So the shares are issued as a consideration for the purchase of assets. In these situations, no cash is received for the issue of shares. So when an asset is acquired by a company, the payment of purchase price may be made by the issue of shares to the vendors. When shares are issued against the purchase price of an asset, or sometimes maybe purchase of a business, sometimes like it will be like that. Anyway, whatever it is, whenever there is a financial transaction and the payment is made through an issue of shares, it is called issue of shares for consideration other than cash. Since we are learning about the concept of issue of shares, in these cases we will be discussing of various transactions that are made through the issue of shares. Similar transaction may be happened in the case of issue of equity shares or preference shares. Even it will happen in the case of debentures, like that. So in other words, cash is not received by the company against such shares or paid. And in these cases, shares are not issued to the public in general. Usually, issue of shares in these situations are particularly for meeting various financial transactions. So how these transactions are posted in the respective books. There are certain journal entries with regard to that. So let us go directly to the practical side. When a company intended to purchase an asset, so at the time of purchase of an asset, the entry will be, usually we know that, asset account debited to cash. But right now we are learning the concept of issue of shares for consideration other than cash. That is, payment is made not in the form of cash but in the form of issue of shares. So the entry will be asset account debtor, and the amount will be the purchase price of the asset or business. Sometimes the company intended to buy another business, like that. So anyway, asset account debtor, the price of that particular asset, that has to be shown in this area. So 2, how this payment was made? Not by the issue of cash but by the issue of shares. So whenever there is an purchase happened in a company, the entry will be, first of all, asset account debtor to vendor account. Previously I have mentioned that asset account debtor to shares. But usually whenever there is a purchase of an asset, the payment will not be made quickly or directly at that moment. First of all, the purchase of the asset entry has to be passed. So in that case, it is like a credit transaction. So whenever there is a credit transaction, the entry will be asset account debtor to supplier. So it will be written like that: asset account debtor to vendor. Vendor means supplier, whoever supplying the assets. So remember, in this module we are dealing with the practical questions mainly on journal entries. So for each journal entry there is a rule that you have to post the respective narration with regard to each entry. So don't forget to enter the narration once you have written the journal entry. So after the journal entry, write down the narration. See here, what was the purpose of the financial transaction? Here asset was purchased from a vendor. So asset account debtor to vendor. Next, for repaying the vendor, in this case we will pay the vendor in the form of shares. So how this entry is posted? The entry will be vendor account debtor to share capital. If these two transactions were a cash transaction, the entry would have been asset account debtor to vendor, vendor account debtor to cash. Or you can directly write it like this: asset account debtor to share capital. This was the entry I have mentioned in the beginning. Since in this type of transaction, usually two entries will be passed. First one will be the transaction with the vendor, after that the payment with the vendor. So asset account debtor to vendor, first entry. After that we are going to make the payment in the form of shares. So vendor account debtor to share capital. Share capital means what is the type of the share that is mentioned in the question. If it is a certain type of 10,000 or 1,000 equity shares, you have to give the name of that particular share. If it is a preference shares, 10% preference shares or 20% preference shares, so to 20% preference shares. So whatever the details of capital given in the question, you have to mention here. And the entry, once the entry is posted, write down the narration, issue of how many shares, what are the nature of the share, that will be mentioned in the question. That has to be written here. Issue of such and such fully paid shares of rupees. There will be a per unit value of shares each to the vendors for the consideration other than cash. Remember to write down the narration once you post a journal entry. So these are the journal entries that has to be passed whenever a purchase of an asset or a transaction that involves issue of shares for consideration other than cash. Next one, issue of shares to promoters. I hope you might have heard the term promoters. Promoters are those persons. It may be a person or it may be a firm or a company, and their main purpose is to promote our company. The promoters are paid remuneration for their services. No promoter will provide their services free of cost. We have to pay for their services. So usually we pay their remuneration for their services. The remuneration can be paid in the form of cash or in the form of issue of shares. Whenever the remuneration is paid in the form of shares, the entry will be goodwill account debtor to share capital. So remember the entry. Whenever the payment is made to the promoters for their services in the form of issue of shares, the entry will be goodwill account debtor to share capital. And don't forget to write or pass the narration. Here the narration will be being shares issued to promoters for their services. Don't forget to write down the narration after each journal entries. And remember, as per the Companies Act, the balance sheet of the company should specifically mention the details of shares issued for consideration other than cash. We will come to that part during the practical situation cases. Right now, remember these concepts. So now let us discuss a case regarding the issue of shares for consideration other than cash in order to have a clear picture regarding the situation. So let us discuss a case. A global company limited was registered with share capital of rupees 5 lakh in shares. So total value of capital is 5 lakhs of rupees 10 each. So how many shares are there? $50,000 shares. The company acquired the business of Asha Traders for 1,50,000 payable, 1 lakh in fully paid shares and the balance in cash. 6,000 shares issued to the promoter for their services. Remaining shares were issued to the public, which were fully subscribed and paid in full. Give journal entries in the books of company. So this is actually a case of a transactions that involves issue of shares. Issue of shares means a purchase of asset was done in the business and the same was repaid in the form of issue of shares. So let us begin with the preparation of journal entries. We all know the journal entry pattern. It will be a T-shaped form, consists of date, particulars, ledger folio, debit side and credit side. I hope you know the pattern of a journal entry. So write down a journal entry. So first of all, if their date is specified in the question, write down the specification regarding the date in the respective column. If not, leave it blank. So first one, the company is registered with the share capital of 5 lakh in shares of rupees 10 each. And the same company acquired the business of Asha Traders for 1,50,000 payable, 1 lakh in fully paid shares and balance in cash. So in this question, the actual transaction comes in the second sentence. The first sentence is actually a misleading information given in the question. Actually, misleading information means it doesn't have any relation with the transaction. It is just an additional information given in the questions to give a confusion in your minds. So don't worry about it. So read the question very wisely and understand what is stated in the question. So it is actually a purchase of a business transaction and the payment is made in the form of issue of shares. So first of all, what was the transaction? A business of Asha Traders was purchased. So what was the value of the business? 1,50,000. So we have learned that whenever there is an issue of shares other than cash, first of all, pass down the journal entry regarding what is going to purchase. So we are going to purchase the business of the Asha Traders, and there are no other information regarding what is the nature of the business. So we can assume that let it be sundry assets. So entry will be, whenever you purchase an asset from a certain person, the entry will be assets account debtor to party. Here from whom we have purchased the assets? Asha Traders. So sundry debtors account debtor to Asha Traders. What was the value of the assets? 1,50,000. So write down 1,50,000 and don't forget to write down the narration. In this module we will be dealing with only journal entries, so writing narration is an important aspect from the examination point of view. So entry is being asset purchased from whom? Asha Traders as per agreement dated. No date is given, so just write down like this. So first entry we have passed about the asset purchase or value of the asset. Next one, how this transaction was made, means how the payment was made. Here it is mentioned that out of 1,50,000, 1 lakh was paid in the form of shares and the balance is cash. So whenever you make a payment to a vendor, the entry will be vendor account debtor to whatever the mode of payment. In this case, it includes 1 lakh shares and balance in cash. So out of 1,50,000, 1 lakh is shares, so balance will be 50,000. The entry will be vendor account debtor, or otherwise known as Asha Traders account debtor, to bank 50,000, to equity share capital account 1 lakh. In this question, it is mentioned that 1 lakh were fully paid up shares. No details regarding the nature of the share capital. So you can either write to equity share capital account or you can simply write share capital. And why they have written equity? Because usually the transactions with regard to issue of shares other than cash, in that cases the company will issue only equity shares. That is why here they have written equity shares. In some rare cases they will be issuing other forms of securities, but in most cases they are issuing equity shares. So that is why they have written equity share capital and no information regarding equity share capital in the question. So to bank and to equity share capital you can write in any order. So the thing is, you have to make sure the credit side should get an amount of 1,50,000. See, 1,50,000. So we have written down two amounts. So the transactions or journal entries with regard to issue of shares other than cash in this question is complete. It's very simple, just pass these two entries. Next one, 6,000 shares were issued to the promoters. We have discussed about that. Promoter is one who promotes the working activities or performance of the company in the public to create a good image. So for their valuable services we have to pay them remuneration. Here 6,000 shares were issued to the promoters for their services. So the entry will be, we have learned that Goodwill account up to equity share capital. Here it is mentioned 6,000 shares and value of one share is 10. See, it is given in the first sentence. So some of the information may not be useful or may not be taken in the computation, but sometimes it may be needed. In the beginning we thought that this 5 lakh in shares of 10, it doesn't affect our computation, but here in order to find the total amount of share capital we use this amount. So all these are logical aspects. You have to use these information logically. Here details of 6,000 shares is only given. So 6,000 into 10 you will get the value of payment. So goodwill account up to equity share capital 6,000. This is the only entry that you have to pass whenever shares are issued to the promoters. It's very easy. Because here, what is the purpose of this entry? That is goodwill account up to equity share capital. Goodwill we know it is the good image of the company or image of the company that is expressed in financial terms. So goodwill is actually the hardest form of fixed asset, or in simple terms we can say assets. So why in this entry, that is promoters are paid in the form of shares, and in this entry we have written goodwill account up to equity share capital. Why it is like that? No details regarding promoters is given. Because here we need not have to write the name of promoters, because promoters are person who had worked for improving the image of the company. Image means goodwill. So because of their services the goodwill of the company increased, because the promoters promote the welfare of our company or promotes the good image of the company. So whenever there is an upliftment in the good image of the company, our goodwill increases. So for the promoters services helped in boosting the goodwill of the company. So our goodwill is increased. Goodwill is an asset. When the asset increase, we debit it. So goodwill account up to 2. For increasing the goodwill, what we have done, we have appointed promoters. For their services we have paid the payment was made in the form of shares. So goodwill account up to equity share capital. And here the name of the promoters will not come in the entry, because here the transaction was a payment made to the promoters. There was no personal account aspects. So we need not have to worry about the name of promoters. So entry will be goodwill account up to equity share capital. And these are the entries which we have learned now, and we have passed according to the details given in the question. But there is one hidden adjustment in this question. See, 6,000 shares were issued to the promoters for their services. Remaining shares were issued to the public which were fully subscribed and paid in full. So the meaning of the sentence is, after dealing all these aspects, so what is the remaining shares issued to the public? How much shares were issued? What was the amount collected from the public? That is the thing which we have to find finally. So how we are going to find that? For that you have to go through the complete information given in the question. See, let us do like that. The entry will be, whenever we have issued the shares to the company, shares to the public, and we have received all the payment in full, in that case the entry will be bank account up to, because we have received the payment from the public. Bank account up to, by how? By issue of shares. So bank account up to equity share capital 3,40,000. And in the question there are no information regarding this value or amount, but you have to find how did we collected 3,40,000. For that you have to go through the entire question given here. Here it is mentioned that the total value of share capital is 5 lakhs. That is given here, 5 lakhs. Out of 5 lakhs we made payment to Asha Traders. For the time being I am using the term Asha Traders, by issue of rupees 1 lakh shares. So out of 5 lakh was the shares in hand at the beginning. Out of 5 lakh, 1 lakh were issued to the Asha Traders. So what is the remaining shares? So the remaining shares in Gobal Company Limited is 4 lakhs. And did their transaction stop there? No, they had made further transaction. Out of rupees 4 lakhs, about 60,000 was paid to promoters for their services. So out of 4 lakhs we made payments to promoters by issue of rupees 60,000 shares. So 4 lakh minus 60,000, the remaining value of shares is 3,40,000. And in the question it is said that remaining shares were issued to the public which were fully subscribed and paid in full. So the entry is bank account number 2, share capital 3,40,000. This is one sense of identifying the concept in the question. The same can be computed by checking the number of shares held by the company. Here the computation was done on the basis of the total amount. Let us see the another version, how we can compute the 3,40,000 on the basis of number of shares held by the company. Here we have discussed on the basis of number of total amount, value of shares. Here let us discuss how we can find 3,40,000 on the basis of number of shares. You must have an idea how to find the value of shares in case of denomination or in the base of number of shares. So in the question it is mentioned that the total share capital worth of the global company limited is 5 lakhs and value of one share is 10. So how many was the number of shares held by global company limited? So the total value of shares held is 5 lakhs by 10, 50,000. So out of 50,000, the company had made a payment to Asha Traders for 1,50,000, and for 1,50,000 only 1 lakh was paid in shares. So we need to worry about this 1 lakh. Don't worry about the remaining 50,000 because we are dealing with shares capital and shares. So 1 lakh rupees of shares were issued. So what was the number of shares? The value of one share is 10. So number of shares means 1 lakh divided by 10, that will be 10,000 shares. So out of 50,000 shares, 10,000 shares were issued to Asha. So the remaining shares will be 40,000. Out of 40,000, the global company issued 6,000 shares. See, 6,000 shares to the promoters for their services. So what is the remaining number of shares by the global company limited? Out of 40, 6,000 were issued, so the remaining is 34,000. So this 34,000 was issued to the public. That is the meaning of this last sentence. Remaining shares were issued. Remaining shares means 34,000 to the public. So 34,000 shares were issued and value of one share is 10. So 34,000 into 10, 3,40,000, and it is said that all the amount were fully subscribed and paid in full. That is, when all the 34,000 shares were issued to the public and we received the payment of all amount. So since it was a bulk issue and a bulk receipt, we can simply write a single entry or one entry, bank account up to equity share capital. So what is the amount? 34,000 shares were issued for rupees 10. So 34,000 into 10, 3,40,000. So this is another sense of identifying the transactions. And why we have discussed these two cases in this question? Because during the further practical cases we may not be discussing the computations in both the angles. In some cases we will be discussing the earlier case or the earlier method. In some cases we will be discussing in this case. So you have an idea about what is the difference between the first case and second case, that is computation with regard to 3,40,000. In the first case we have computed 3,40,000 on the basis of denomination or the money value or cash value. In second case we have computed on the basis of number of shares, and finally we computed the denomination on the basis of number of shares into price. So I hope you have understand the concept which we have discussed here. So go through these theoretical aspects which we have discussed and the journal entries. From now onwards we will be discussing the practical aspects with regard to issue of shares, and in the meantime we will be discussing some of the theoretical aspects also. So just go through all the theoretical aspects and problems we are discussing. Familiarize each concept, understand each of the cases. We may not be able to deal with all the problems as per the syllabus, but I will try to include as much problems as I can by covering all the adjustments as per the syllabus. So go through all these cases. We will continue about the remaining practical cases and theoretical aspects with regard to issue of shares. of a company in the coming sessions. Until then, go through it. If you have any queries, please let me know. We will discuss about the further cases in the coming sessions. Thank you.